My dad had testicular cancer when I was pretty young. And I remember this super vital dude all of a sudden was completely annihilated by treatment and sleeping and exhausted. And I remember very, very clearly when I was a little kid thinking that I was going to cure cancer. That's why I was born. I had been a filmmaker for years. I had been traveling around the world doing directing and editing, and so it was pretty amazing to be in Hollywood and that whole world of film. Being a kid and thinking I'm going to cure cancer and then being a filmmaker, at that time I saw no connection whatsoever, none. Of course, then when I was in Hollywood, I got cancer. So it was very hard to integrate the film world into the healing world. But what I have realized is they are exactly the same thing. There's no difference. When you make a film, you tell a story. You evoke this inherent emotional response. And people get changed through that. There's a catharsis, there's a connection and community. In cancer, we have sort of tried to take that out. Oh, you got A cancer, you got B treatment. But as a cancer patient and as a cancer doctor, I'm going, hello, there's a human being there. And human beings have never changed. They are the manifestation of story. And what if we listen to that person's story? What would they say? And what if we all had the same story? Living, dying, living, 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 living. How do you live? How do you accept, for lack of a better word, that this is the story? The number one thing that I hear from patients again and again and again is that really freaks them out is their doctor doesn't listen to them. There are studies out there that show that patients can talk anywhere from 6.5 to about 30 seconds before their doctor interrupts them for the first time. You can't tell your story in 6.5 seconds. I think most patients need to find themselves again. I think they're spinning so much they have no point of reference. I see them as a broken story. They're this story and they think they've been sort of controlling their story and they sort of have a handle on life, and then they get whacked by this cancer diagnosis. And they are splicing on this ending to their life. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be miserable. I'm broken. I'm going to die. I'm alone. This is hell. And so what I do is I sit there and listen to them and try to bring in this possibility of, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. I do know you're alive right now, and it is possible. It is possible that you could have this cancer and have peace. It is possible that you could have this cancer and have peace. There's a missing link. There's no fireplace where people with cancer can gather and tell their stories and be heard and heal. And the story is only half told until it's heard. Knowing the power of film and the need of cancer patients, to how do I put those together? And that's what I hope this project is. I hope Help for Cancer is the vision is to have this fireplace, use technology, use media to have people have that conversation, to be heard. So wherever people are, they can come together and find that connection, find that community, find themselves, and ultimately find their peace in their own way. Here's your team presenting what we found out. You have this diagnosis. We acknowledge you. What are your values? These are some options. These are different allopathic options, and these are complementary options that work with that. So here's the whole plethora. This is what we know. This is what we think we know. This is what's on the cutting edge. This is what we don't know. So you get the whole thing. Then you get somebody to walk through that with you, help you get settled down and make clear reasonable decisions that you can live with the rest of your life. Not just, oh my God, cancer, fear, surgery, chemo, do it. And all of a sudden, 5 months or a year later, you go, what the hell just happened? So you're supporting the patient truly to make good decisions, not only just through cancer and cancer treatment, but after. How do they survive? How do they integrate back into their life? How do they find meaning in their life? How do they give back? The whole thing is supported. 5 years from now, this is what I see. Millions of people have gone through this Help for Cancer world, all the parts of it. And when millions of people do that, the entire dialogue, the entire experience of cancer will change. And that is huge. This is actually a co-created community. This is a level playing field. We need every single person to come and bring their story. What an incredible opportunity it is to bring that palette and that palette and that palette, and it could be pretty spectacular.